Hello and welcome to Dottotech. We've got a very practical show on tap for you today. Digital photography has become such a huge part of our lives, yet very few of us actually have a system or a strategy for dealing with our digital photos. Or even worse, fewer of us take advantage of all the great new things that we can do with those digital pictures. Now, if you live in the Windows world, you've got to cobble together several different applications to begin to get the most out of your photos, like managing them, backing them up, and finally enjoying them. Well, in the Mac world, it all happens in one familiar place, iPhoto. But even here, I wonder how many of us actually dive into the deep end of the pool and really embrace the tools that are provided. Well, it's time to put on your digital swimming trunks because today we're diving deep into iWater. It's going to be an iPhoto extravaganza. So let's think about how digital cameras have changed our lives. We now take more pictures than ever because there's no consumables anymore. There's no film to run out and buy and develop. Now you have to deal with memory, and memory cards are dropping in price faster than George Bush's popularity. And digital's easy. We can erase pictures that don't turn out, which means we can take as many pictures as we want. Now, how we enjoy our pictures has changed as well, and some would say that the change hasn't been for the better. My wife, for example, hates the fact that our pictures are on the computer rather than in good old-fashioned photo albums. But the truth is, we tend to view and enjoy our pictures a lot more on screen now than we do in print. Now, not only have digital cameras changed our lives, but software packages have evolved to meet our needs as well. Apple's iLife applications are designed with you and I in mind. They try to bridge the gap between our lives and our computers. iPhoto is the place that we go to manage all of our digital photos. Like its sister applications, iTunes for music, iMovie HD for digital video, iDVD for making our own DVDs, and GarageBand for making music, iPhoto is designed to be easy to use and powerful and fully integrated. And what does that mean to you and me? Well, in a word, it means simplicity. iPhoto is going to work hand in hand with the other iLife applications. And this only makes sense when you consider that our different media works best with other media. For example, slideshows and movies need music. And you should be able to take your slideshow with its music and photos and then publish it onto a DVD. Actually, that is the key phrase that seems to best describe iLife. If you think you should be able to do something with your photos, music, or videos, iLife probably makes it so. So what should a photo tool do? Well, the first thing is it should help me keep track of all of my photos and help me organize my pictures. And let's see how iPhoto does that. When we open iPhoto, all of our information is laid to us in two distinct areas. In the center are the thumbnails of all of our photos, and down the left-hand side here are all of our different sources where we actually create structure and organization to our photos. Now, when photos come into iPhoto, they come in two different parts. The photo and all of the image information comes in, but attached to that photo is something called metadata. Metadata is data about data. And if I right-click on this photo here and go into the Show Info area, I can see that I've got a whole bunch of information attached that's not part of the image. I've got the size of the image, I've got the camera that it was taken with, I've got the date, I've got the exposure settings. All that information comes in from the digital camera when the picture is taken. But I also have some user information. This is information that I can modify and edit and put in place. And these are keywords. This allows me to tag the photo to allow for better organization. And that's step one to creating structure to all of our photos. The other part of creating structure to all of our photos is in the chronological listing that we have here in the library. We think about our photos by the date that we took the pictures or what we were doing at that time. So the most logical way to organize our photos, since the camera isn't going to give us any logical names to the photos, is chronologically by date. And here we have our photos listed out by date that they were taken. Now this is kind of the main holding area for all of these photos. Each of these photos taken by date has different content within it, so we probably want to put it into other photo albums where we share it in other areas. This is very similar to the real world where you have negatives and you have prints. You might have the same print in several different photo albums depending on the theme of that album. Similarly, we can put the same photo in different albums here. So down here I've created a new photo album, and all you do to create a new photo album is go into Edit, File, say New Album, and it creates you a new photo album. So I created one for our old Dotto TV shows here. And if I scroll down here, I can see that we've got a whole bunch of photos from our old show at the old network. So if I want to move any of these photos into this new album, I just simply select them here, and then I drag them into the old Dotto show album. Now, I haven't removed them from the chronological listing. They're still there. But now if I go into this new photo album, they are also in the new album. So it allows us to create an awful lot of structure. So when you're doing projects that we'll be looking at later on, what you'll do is you'll create a photo album for that project with all of the photos that you want to use in that project, and you can create a unique album very easily. Now, the other thing that you're going to want to be able to do with your photos is you're going to want to be able to edit the photos very quickly, and minor edit, things like color correction and red eye reduction and that kind of stuff. So I've got a photo here which is a typical photo that's going to be taken on any vacation. My son took this in Portugal last year, and it's of a nice arch, but it's dramatically underexposed because he was standing in a sunlit courtyard taking a picture of this arch, and a lot of details lost in the shadows. He also likes taking everything sideways, so I'm going to rotate this so we can see inside. Now, when you're taking a digital photo, it's always a better idea to underexpose it than overexpose it, so he did a good job here. If you overexpose a photo, you blow out all of the information. We can't recover it. If it's underexposed, chances are we can recover a lot of the information, and it's as easy to do with the automatic tools as click on Enhance. And watch what happens. It brings all the detail. Even the patina is brought up from inside this photo. Similarly, for doing things like red eye reduction, all of those things are automatic. Now, I find most digital photos need this kind of interaction. We need to adjust and modify them. Now, we're going to take all of our photos and take a quick break. But when we return, we're going to look at some of the ways that we can use and share all of our iPhotos.
Want more information about the items we highlight on the show? Then make sure you drop by our website at dottotech.com. You'll find details about the products we cover, episode descriptions, and lots of cool features.